Right now is an incredibly important time to trust your higher self. Obviously, it's always important to trust your higher self, but right now specifically, because of the energy that's flowing into the planet, you have to start to get out of your comfort zone and expand. You have to expand. I mean, you don't have to do anything, but if you don't want to get quote unquote left behind and be in some lower state of consciousness where you're repeating the same things again and again and again, possibly for many lifetimes, if you believe in that, you want to start to trust your higher self. You want to start to trust that flow of consciousness that is always trying to move through you. Because here's the thing, consciousness is always flowing. What stops the flow of consciousness is the ego construct, the little solid, I'm just a human being and I have it all figured out and I know what's best. No, the ego doesn't know what's best, okay? Your higher self knows what's best, and what you want to do is start to trust in that flow of consciousness. So the question is, what wants to flow through you? What wants to be created through you? I believe that we're not just here to find inner peace and be in a neutral state of consciousness. I believe that we are divine creators at nature. What does this mean? This means that we came here to create our reality, to manifest our reality, to create what it is that we truly want. Not just to be in some neutral state where we create the same experiences over and over and over, and then we call it possibly even spirituality. Yep, I'm being spiritual. You're not being spiritual. You've trapped yourself into your comfort zone, and you've called it spirituality, which is one of the traps of spirituality, is to believe that you're being spiritual, when the truth is that you just trapped yourself into your comfort zone. Okay, so you want to avoid that at all costs, because you know if you stay in your comfort zone, that's pretty much what it means to not trust your higher self, right? That's pretty much what it means to not trust your higher self, is just to stay in your comfort zone and to do the same things. Now, one thing I'll tell you right now, if that's intimidating to you, if that's like, oh, I don't want to get out of my comfort zone, that's too much for me, that's not spiritual. Well, let me ask you this. Is it comfortable to stay in your comfort zone? Okay? Is it comfortable? Is it enjoyable to stay in your comfort zone? No, it's not. It's not comfortable to stay in your comfort zone. It becomes very traumatizing, and you start to manifest experiences that are not preferred, and it's not a fun place to be. So I encourage you and I invite you to start to trust your higher self, which already knows what's best for you. It's flowing through you at all times. At any moment, no matter what you're going through, no matter what's happening, you can make a choice to start allowing that natural flow of consciousness to start coming through once again. To allow that state of consciousness to start flowing through you. And then when you do this, here's what you're going to start to notice, is that you are an epic divine creator of your reality, and you don't even need to know how you're doing it. See, that higher self doesn't focus on how. How is not a conversation to be having about manifestation when you're trusting your higher self. It's not about how. In fact, how is a joke, because you don't need to know how. There's no how. You just think about what you want, and then you just let it go, and you just be it. You become it. You are it already. But that's not even a process you have to think about too much, because you'll be receiving the downloads from your higher self, and you don't even need to necessarily visualize intentfully or force yourself or do anything that's difficult when you're trusting your higher self, right? Everything is exciting, really. Anything that causes fear, when you're flowing with your higher self, you don't even see it as fear. See, when you're trusting your higher self, you don't even see fear as fear. You see it as gratitude, as an exciting, epic movie that's flowing through you. Have you ever realized that fear is just simply an emotion and a feeling, and then you call it something, and then you call it fear? What if fear was just gratitude? Have you ever thought about that? What if fear was just unconditional love? Have you ever thought about that? Because that's something that I realized. If you really think about it, fear is just an emotion, and we have an interpretation about that emotion, and then we push it away, and then we go back to our little tiny solid reality, and we repeat the same experiences. This is how most people live. This is how most of society lives, is they feel an emotion, they push it away, call it bad, and then they go back into their own little tiny solid human, I'm just a human, not a conscious being that manifests its reality state of being. That's what happens. Is that what you really want with your life? Is just to be, I'm a solid human being, and this is what I do. This is who I am. Is that what you want? If the answer is no, which I hope the answer is no, by the time if you've been watching this video this long, I encourage you to allow that flow of consciousness to start flowing through you once again, which is the natural progression and evolution of consciousness. Okay? You really want to start to allow that flow of consciousness to happen through you. Okay? One of my mentors told me one time, reality doesn't necessarily happen to us or for us, it happens through us. Now, I do believe that reality happens for us. Everything happens for us, not to us, because to us is a victim mentality. But you also got to understand that consciousness is flowing through you at all times. Now, when we decide that we know better than consciousness, that we know better than the divine, that we know better than all that is, what starts to happen is that we block that natural flow and we get stuck. We literally stagnate the energy. We block the energy. You're going to have all sorts of energy blocks in your energy body, in your emotional body, even in your physical body. Personally, for me, my energy body and my physical body are very connected. Of course, everybody's is. But if you're as sensitive as I am, what you'll start to notice is that when you block that flow of consciousness, everything gets stuck. They're quite literally stuck. It's like you're stuck. Reality is not changing. You're creating the same experiences. Maybe even have some random issues and problems that you just seemingly keep manifesting everywhere that you go. And you're like, oh my gosh, is that a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. Nothing happens by accident. When people manifest epic divine realities, that is not a coincidence. When people manifest the same experiences over and over, and that's pretty epic. That's pretty epic. When people manifest the same experiences over and over and over, that's not a coincidence either. Okay? None of these things are by accident. Okay? Nothing happens by accident. These things don't happen just randomly and out of the blue. That's not how reality works. So, once again, just to conclude this video, if you would like to see your reality move forward once again, if you would like to see your reality be an epic manifestation where you are, of course, the star of your own movie, you're manifesting everything you want as the divine creator that you really are, you don't have to do anything, but I invite you to, when I say you don't have to, is of course because you have a choice here, right? You have to, or I invite you to allow that flow of consciousness to flow through you. One quick tip before we close here, allow yourself to receive the downloads from your higher self. And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Also, please hit that like button for me so that more people can get access to this content, because I do believe that every single person on this planet does deserve to know that they are divine creators of their reality, and that they can manifest the reality and do so in the most effortless and easeful way possible. And hitting that like button does help the YouTube algorithm push the videos out to more people, and that would be greatly appreciated. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.